Welcome to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. Today, we're shifting gears to discuss the slowdown in the EV market and its impact on dealerships. Let's rev up and explore the 7 reasons why dealers are hitting the brakes on their optimism for EVs. Reason number 7. Dealers' dismal outlook on EV sales. Recent surveys reveal a gloomy forecast among dealers regarding EV sales. Cox Automotive's Dealer Sentiment Index, a key industry barometer, indicates a downward trend. The latest survey, which included 546 franchise and 472 independent retailers, asked, "How would you describe your EV sales compared to last year?" The response? A score of 43, well below the neutral 50, signaling a sense of decline and weakness among dealers. When asked about their expectations for the EV market in their area 3 months from now, the score plummeted to a record low 39. This is a stark contrast to the score of 67 in the fourth quarter of 2022, highlighting a drastic shift in dealers' expectations for EVs. Reason number 6. The slowdown in growth. The most apparent reason for dealers' pessimism is the current market situation. The once rapid growth of EVs has significantly slowed down. For several years, we saw a meteoric rise in EV market share, with year-over-year growth of at least 90% between 2020 and 2022. However, the tide seems to have turned. Last year ended with a 50% growth, and the numbers for January this year were even more disappointing, showing an increase of just 15%. This slowdown has led to EVs accounting for only 7.8% of the market, falling short of experts' expectations. Dealers are realizing that the era of rapid growth may be over, and the market could soon plateau or maintain a minimal growth rate. It appears that while the early adopters have embraced EVs, the middle class remains hesitant about this radical shift. Interestingly, we're seeing a surge in the hybrid market. Gas-electric vehicles have been growing at a 40% rate for years, and last year, it jumped to 70%. Hybrids now make up 9% of the total car market, and this number is expected to rise, especially with popular models like Toyota's Camry and RAV4 soon to be available only in electrified variants. Reason number 5. The high stakes of EV investments. Dealerships are finding themselves in a high-risk game, forced to invest heavily in EVs, a market with uncertain returns. This includes costs for chargers, infrastructure, and staff training. With the EV market showing signs of slowing down, dealerships are understandably hesitant to invest hundreds of thousands, sometimes over $1 million, into a venture with uncertain returns. Take the case of domestic brands, for instance. The Blue Oval Company, more commonly known as Ford, has over 3,000 dealers nationwide. Yet about half of them are reluctant to sell EVs. The reason? A staggering $1 million investment is required to get through the certification program. This comes at a time when Ford has already announced a rollback on its planned billions in EV investments. Other automakers are taking an even more hardline approach, issuing ultimatums to their dealers. Buick, for example, is yet to introduce an EV in North America, but is already forcing dealers to make a choice. Invest $400,000 to sell EVs or lose their Buick dealership license. It's no surprise then that this GM brand has seen a 50% drop in its dealer network over the past year. Before we delve deeper, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. This helps us reach more auto enthusiasts just like you. Now let's shift gears and steer towards our next point. Reason number 4. Mercedes-Benz pumps the brakes on EV ambitions. Even luxury car maker Mercedes-Benz is hitting the brakes on its EV ambitions. The German automaker had previously announced a bold plan to sell only battery electric vehicles from 2030. However, reality has forced a change in course. Mercedes-Benz has finally acknowledged what its North American dealers have been saying for a while. The transition to EVs is not going to be as swift and smooth as initially anticipated. The company's annual sales results reveal that EV sales have fallen short of expectations. As a result, Mercedes-Benz has unveiled a new, less ambitious electrification plan. The revised goal is to have half of its overall sales be electric by the end of this decade, but this includes hybrids as well. This decision was influenced not just by US sales results, but also by the global slowdown in EV market growth. Last year's sales rose by only 31%, a significant drop from the previous year's growth rate. Like other automakers, Mercedes-Benz has come to terms with the fact that the initial EV strategy was unsustainable and could have led to catastrophic consequences. Reason number 3, dealerships' dilemma. GM and Ford dealerships, traditionally optimistic about electrification, have hit a roadblock. The announcement of massive delays in EV investments by these two companies, both of which profit heavily from pickup trucks like the F-Series, Silverado, and Sierra, has led to a wave of pessimism. The strategy was to electrify these profit makers as soon as possible, but the reality has been far from smooth. Ford's F-150 Lightning, for instance, saw a cool down in demand once consumers realized it didn't quite measure up to its gas-powered counterparts in terms of towing capacity, range under heavy load, or overall convenience. This led Ford to halve its production plans for this year, affecting about 1,400 workers in the Michigan plant. Reason number 2, the challenge of selling EVs. Selling EVs is no easy ride. It takes more time and effort compared to traditional gas-powered cars, leading to salespeople spending more time convincing customers to make the switch. According to Buzz Smith, a former GM salesman turned dealer trainer, customers usually make 4 visits before deciding to buy an EV, compared to just 1 visit for gas-powered cars. This means salespeople need to spend 400% more time to earn the same commission, effectively taking a 75% pay cut. So it's no surprise that they're somewhat relieved by the current slowdown in EV growth. Reason number 1, the high price tag of EVs. Dealers know what buyers want. They've been urging car makers to rethink their EV strategy for a long time, but their advice fell on deaf ears. Buyers don't want to pay a premium for a vehicle that falls short of a gas-powered car in most aspects. They want affordable and convenient transportation, not a luxury, high-priced EV that offers little in terms of convenience. The problem lies in the fact that car makers designed their first EVs with early adopters in mind. This phase ended sooner than expected, and now EV makers are struggling to meet the needs of the average customer. They need a car that's as affordable or cheaper than their gas-powered counterparts and addresses at least some of the issues associated with current-generation EVs. Until car makers can offer faster charging rates, better range, improved infrastructure, and enhanced reliability, dealers have little reason to be optimistic. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the world of vehicles. Don't forget to subscribe to Piston Pundit to stay updated on the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you next time.